Hey guys, I just thought I'd do a quick tutorial on how we can use SCSS files with Angular. So there's two ways. If you're starting a new project, it's dead simple. Go ng new, the project name, and then we can pass a flag style. And in our case, it'll be SCSS. So if we install that, from the start, all the files will be SCSS instead of CSS, which means we won't have to change anything else, and by default it'll be supported. So if I go into the actual folder and then open up my editor, we can go to a style sheet. As you can see, it's SCSS there. We can add a variable. Sorry, I've got a cold. And if we then create a simple class, I'll add the color to the header class. So we can then go into the actual component template and set the title to have a class of header. So if we serve this now, that should be red if SCSS is working. Just pass the open flag. Okay, and there we go. It's picked up the variables. We know it's running CSS, and that's about as simple as we could wish. So, if you've already got a project set up, it's a little more complicated, but we'll do that now. So I'll go out of here, I'll remove that folder, close down my editor. Let's say we created a project without specifying the CSS style flag. So we'll just do a new project again. This won't work, so I'll close that for now. And here there's just going to be a few changes we have to do. The first one will be in the angular.json file. So let's go back into our project. Let's load my editor. And as we see here, it's .css files. So that's the first issue we've spotted. So if we go into angular.json, basically the main difference is within schematics here, there'll be a specification for CSS. So if we copy and paste this from our other project, which I've copied out, it has the property set which will force SCSS. So that's been added there. Second change, we can see here we've got a .css file reference. So if we use SCSS, let's change that, and let's change our corresponding file name here. So now we can add a SCSS variable again. This is otherwise a standard project. SCSS wouldn't work as standard. Let's again add our header class, and I'll just serve this. We're going to need to add that class to our header again. So there we see we've added a class and we've got the variable being picked up, and obviously that wouldn't be working if it wasn't picking up the SCSS. So we do have to have a CSS file here for the component. That's not referenced anywhere, but we should be able to just simply change this. Oh, and then we have to change where it's referenced here. So there we go. And if we add another variable, let's go with, let's just type blue, and we'll set this as another class. what should we call this? Let's call it blue for our testing purposes. So we'll set that to the, well, even though it's a test, let's have some sanity. And now, if we want the link, let's set this to blue. And there we go. We've also got SCSS within our component style there. And I'll leave that there, guys. Cheers.